Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah OJ. So I actually got a comment on one of my Real Housewives reviews to do Real Housewives of Miami, and I was actually making my way through Miami at the time. So I said as soon as I was caught up that I would. So here I am. I couldn't really do the first part of it. I think I tried for most of season 1. I was bored. I went to like season 3. Bored, and my friend was like, oh no, the new version is season 4. So I've basically been binge watching from season 4 and I'm now up to date. So here we go. So this Mother's Day brunch, chaotic as fuck, as all their get-togethers where they fight are on Miami. I think Nicole knew that Leah and Marisol had an issue, but I don't think she thought it was that deep, because she genuinely seemed very surprised at their reaction. Like, it was dramatic even for them. And it made me wonder whether Alexia had an inkling about the fact that Leah was really there to spill her tea on Todd's finances, because it just seemed so convenient that she was willing to tap back into being Marisol's bestie and defending her blindly. And also, the things they were upset about weren't really true strictly. Like, Leah did not say that she wishes Marisol was dead. For a while, I actually thought the daughter was Leah, because most of the smoke was coming from the daughter. So when I realized, when Leah said it was her daughter that said the rotten corpse thing, I was like, what the fuck are they mad about? Leah barely said anything on that interview. I mean, she said the thing about Marisol's husband, like there's rumors that he's gay, but she didn't say that he's gay. I get that when you put the rumor out there on a podcast, it kind of looks like you're affirming it, but girl, is it really that serious? Like, I just feel like after being on Housewives for so long, is that really that big of a deal? Like, ugh. It just seemed like they were overdoing it massively, and it felt like there was another reason why they didn't really want to sit down with this woman. So I do believe that Nicole genuinely didn't think that it was going to result in this huge drama. I think she thought it would be drama for TV. Like, yeah, you know, they won't really like it, but I don't think she thought they would be that offended by it, you know? And I really can't stand Alexia. Like, I cannot stand that woman. She does so many things that aggravate me, but I genuinely just don't think she's a nice person. Like, I think sometimes when people go through a lot of hardship, I think people spend so much energy empathizing with them and feeling sorry for their situations that sometimes they don't really see that they're not a good person. And I feel like this is what's happened with Alexia, because Alexia is a bitch. Like, she's not a nice person. Like, the things that she says, the way that she speaks to people, like the shots that she takes are just so unnecessary. She's always talking over people, always shouting, doing the most. Like, she's just unbearable to me. Like, when she sat there and said that comment to Nicole about your mum is mean, that's why she's not here, it didn't even have anything to do with anything they were saying. Nicole didn't even call her mean. She said she was angry, which she was shouting. So when she said, oh, you're the one that's mean, your mum says you're mean, that's why she's not even here. Bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? Her mum, what does that have to do with the topic at hand? And it was such an unnecessary low blow. Same as when she said to Lisa on the reunion that, oh, if you had a little bit more confidence or respect for yourself, Lenny wouldn't treat you the way he does, so unprovoked, out of nowhere. Like, she's so insecure, and it's so bothersome because people like that, like, it doesn't matter what you actually say to them. Like, they're not hearing the actual words that are coming out of your mouth. They're just perceiving everything as an attack, so they just go for the jugular all the time, and it's just like, ugh, like, get help. Like, why are you like this? But I also think part of why she did that was to deflect, because she knew that Leah was there to discuss something to do with her. I feel like she got a little tip off from production or somebody else. So I feel like all of that was orchestrated for the sake of deflection. Also, Alexia and Marisol flip-flopped, because at first at the brunch they were saying that Nicole didn't even really know who Leah was. She couldn't even pronounce her last name. And then Nicole corrects them saying, no, actually, I even said at the reunion that I knew who she was and that she called me. So what are you talking about? Then later on they were saying, oh, you know who she was. You were telling us, oh, she has tea on you, but I don't spill it, and da-da-da. So I'm like, so which is it? Do you think she knows her, or do you think she doesn't? Like, you guys are jumping back and forth about what is really upsetting you, what is really offending you, and it's misdirected anger, low-key, because it wasn't even Nicole's idea to invite her. It was Adriana's. And Julia was spending the whole episode trying to make it clear that they're all attacking Nicole for no reason, and it was actually Adriana's idea to invite her, but they knew that. Nicole told them that Adriana invited her. Alexia knew that when she turned up for the brunch. So why they were all attacking Nicole, I really don't know, but I feel like they all need to lay off Nicole, because all it's doing is showing their insecurities. They are all bitches to her for no reason. And yes, Nicole is one of my faves, so perhaps this is a little bit biased, but I genuinely feel like she doesn't really do anything to those women, and they just attack her. I think that they're jealous because she's an accomplished selfish woman. She's a doctor. So you really can't say to her she's just a housewife or she only has this, she only has that. She's literally a doctor. She's very pretty. She has a man who loves her. She has a kid. Like, she looks like she has it all and has it all together. And I think she threatens them. I think she threatens Alexia. I think she threatens Marisol. And I think she threatens Larsa, because that whole "you fucked all the doctors in the hospital" situation was another example of them just wanting to attack her based off of hardly anything, because it was all from that one DM about a relationship she had with one doctor, but that turned into "you fuck all the doctors at the hospital." Why? Like, for what reason are we doing that other than jealousy? Pure jealousy. So yeah, I feel like they let it show, and they really need to not, because you're just showing everybody how insecure you really are. And like I said, I don't think Nicole was completely unaware and doe-eyed like she was trying to play. I think she definitely had a little inkling that there was an issue, but I think that she didn't think it was going to be that dramatic. Speaking of Larsa, I've been wanting to drag her for a little while now, but I haven't had the chance, because when I actually started doing reviews, I did a TikTok review a couple weeks ago, and she didn't really have much to say that episode, and she didn't this episode, but I'm going to drag her anyway. I am very shocked at the level of conceitedness and selfishness that Larsa Pippen exudes. And I know that might seem surprising because, you know, besties with the Kardashians. Of course she's selfish. Of course she's conceited. But the level of it is what shocks me, because I watched the Kardashians up until they moved to Hulu. So I watched them pretty religiously in their original series. And yes, they're selfish. Yes, they're conceited. But I think that they all have a certain level of compassion and thoughts about other people. They just don't care about everybody. Like, when it comes to, for example, ripping off the black community, they don't give a fuck about that, you know? But they care about family, and I do feel like there's a certain level of sensitivity in all of them where they care about people somewhat. Like, you can see different scenarios where they've displayed that. So when I'm now seeing Larsa's unapologetic level of selfishness, I am just a little bit surprised. Like, everything is about you, bitch. You don't care about anyone. And it actually shocks me to see how much of a good friend she is to Lisa, because I feel like the only person she's capable about being selfless for is Lisa. And that really shocks me. I don't know if Lisa has something she wants in terms of access or the people, but I can't possibly think what. Like, I think Larsa has all of that from being connected to the Kardashians and Scottie Pippen. So it really just makes me wonder, like, does Lisa have something on her? Like, honestly, it's such a contrast to how she treats everybody else that it really confuses me. But good for Lisa, I guess. But there's several things about her I wasn't really feeling. But then where it came up to the reunion last season, the way she was speaking to Nicole, I really didn't like it. And I get she has a right to be angry with the way, I forgot Nicole's husband, or fiance. I get that she's angry about the way he spoke about her, because he was essentially slut shaming her. And I don't think that it's cool for men to do those type of things. I don't even like it when women slut shame women. So I really don't think there's any place for a man doing it where it's not a big deal. But at the same time, you did speak on their situation with their child, which means you did involve him slightly when you threw shade. So I got when Nicole said, well, you like didn't speak on his child, but you basically cussed us both for having a child out of wedlock. So yeah, he's not feeling you, and he makes that clear. I get that, and I actually am not mad at Nicole's husband not feeling afraid to say his opinion. I like it when a husband knows when to tap in and tap out. So I got her side of things with that situation, but just in general, the way she treats Nicole, it's very confusing to me. Like, what are you upset about? Because she said that she wanted to know who you were before you entered our house, like most people? Like, I really don't understand. And fair enough, maybe you felt a bit judged because of your OnlyFans or whatever, but bitch, people judge women for being on OnlyFans. It's not, you're not new here. Like, let's stop this. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're going on a show like Housewives. These women are going to judge you anyway. You being a foot model on OnlyFans is just, like, that's the first thing they're going to do. Like, surely you have some type of expectation of that. So I don't understand why that triggered her so much to treat Nicole the way she does. Like, when they brought up her dad and her in therapy, remember that moment where Nicole revealed that she got hit by a car because her dad wasn't watching her properly? And because he cried, she was like, oh, you were horrible to him. Like, this is a grown man. Like, the way you're speaking to him, like, that wasn't cool. Like, look at the way he was crying. I felt sorry for him. I said, bitch, you're insane. You felt sorry for him. He was crying because he was admitting that he was such a shitty father. Like, that's not where your empathy should go. Your empathy should go to Nicole. Like, I don't understand why people cannot like people but still simultaneously feel sorry for them. You can still be compassionate towards other people and them not really be your type of person. So her using that moment to attack her, I just didn't think was cool. And that's just one of the things that Larsa does that I'm really not a fan of. But now this situation with Gertie, sorry, I had to throw that in there because I wasn't reviewing season 5, but that moment really, really pissed me off. But This situation with Gertie Larsa is a terrible individual. Point, period, blank. The way she sat there in her house and was spreading the news of Gertie's diagnosis like it was some mindless TMZ gossip was so disgusting, so uncouth, so distasteful. I was just looking at her like, on top of being selfish, on top of being conceited, on top of being a thoughtless person, bitch, you just have no class. Why are you telling these random bitches, firstly, that Gertie doesn't even know like that? Like that friend that's always around licking her ass for no reason, she told her first. Why? Who does that on camera? And like Gertie said, there was waiters and everything in the background. The way she told Lisa and Marisol and Alexia, I was just like, you're actually terrible. Like, who does that? I've never heard of such. Somebody's cancer diagnosis. And I really, really wonder how she's going to defend herself at the reunion, because you cannot say that Gertie didn't tell you not to tell anybody, because she did. That's why you made that joke about TMZ. And honestly, you're a grown-ass woman. Let's not even do this. Even if she didn't tell you not to tell anybody, it should be obvious. You don't spread that type of thing like wildfire just because. Like, what is wrong with you? So I'm really curious as to what her defense is going to be, because there is no defense. Like, you're terrible. You're nobody I want as a friend. I can't imagine trusting somebody with that type of information and they tell everybody like it's nothing. I will never tell you anything again. I wouldn't even really want to speak to you low-key. Like, that shit would have me so angry every time I think about it that I really, really wouldn't even want to fuck with her at all. So I really hope that Gertie doesn't deal with her in future, because that type of thing is not a minor thing to me. Like, if you're my friend and I can't even trust you to tell you that type of information, that I'm sick and I would like you to keep that to yourself, we don't have a friendship as far as I'm concerned. Like, we don't have anything that I care about anymore. And there are other situations as well where I'm like, oh wow, Larsa, you really ain't shit, but I just don't remember what they are now. And at this point, you guys probably won't remember because you're onto a new season. I'm the one that's been binge watching it from the beginning. So, but yeah, fuck Larsa. At the very least, if she's gonna be here irritating the hell out of me, at least make yourself useful and tell us if you fuck Tristan. That's all I want to know. That's really all I care about. Why don't the Kardashians fuck with you anymore? Is it because you fucked Tristan? What's that about? You gonna say anything? No? Then and why is it that you don't deal with them, but you're still comfortable calling Kanye on the phone to talk about some bullshit that happened on Housewives? Like, I just have questions. Tell us what we really want to know. Otherwise, why is she here? That's a pet peeve of mine, when they bring somebody like her on the show and they bring her for the purpose that they know why the audience would care about her presence, but we're just not going to discuss that. It's like when they brought Phaedra back on Married to Medicine, but we're not going to talk about what she did to Candy. Why? Why are you here then? Go away. Anyway, that's where I'll leave it. And with Gertie, my heart honestly breaks for her. Gertie is, her and Nicole, my top two, my favourite cast members on this show. And I love Gertie, so I really, really hope she gets better soon. I think that she's just really being strong. I don't like to just label black women as strong for the sake of it, but you know, she's really, really fighting that fight, and I just, I stand. And it's got to be a really difficult situation going through something like that when you're on Housewives fighting about bullshit. Like, I know she'd just be sitting there like, is this what we're doing? Like, is this really what we're doing? Like, oh, do we have to do it every day? But like, that's the job, so you kind of have to suck it up and just do it. But yeah, it's got to be tough when you're literally sick and I don't give a fuck about any of this bullshit that we're talking about. So yeah, my heart is really with her, and I really hope that she's cleared of cancer at this point. I need to look it up because I have this weird thing where I don't like to look up what's going on while I'm watching it. I don't know why, like spoilers, like I don't like it. But I'm gonna look her up now. I saw her on Watch What Happens Live lately though. She looked amazing, but I only saw a clip, so I didn't see whether or not, you know, she's still fighting or whether she's had the chemo and she's all good and the cancer's gone now. So I need to look that up for myself, and I sincerely hope it's the latter because love Gertie. But yeah, you guys, let me know what you think. I'm gonna say what I said at the end of my Real Housewives of Salt Lake City review as well. I won't be reviewing on YouTube as consistently as I would like because I have a job where I work 8 to 5 and I do not have the luxury of working from home. So it is just so difficult to have the time and energy to be able to dedicate to being able to make the content and edit and everything like that while I'm also working and, you know, got other shit to do too. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing it on TikTok for the time being. To be honest, I'm gonna be focusing the majority of my content on TikTok for the time being. So I don't want to say this will be the last video for a while because never say never. I tend to do that type of thing and then really, really feel like making a YouTube video like next week. So never say never, but where it comes to constant updates and reviews and consistent content, please follow me on TikTok because you'll find a lot more on there going forward. I really do so much moving around because why is my hair messed up? Like, I'm just sitting here. Anyway, you guys, thank you for checking out my review. Like I said, follow me on TikTok. I talk about TV. I also talk about pop culture, celebrity gossip, music, that type of thing. And I'm going to be doing more personal content as well going forward from time to time. But yes, follow me on TikTok. Also subscribe to my channel and like the video and comment below. Let me know what you thought of the show and what you think of the Housewives in general. And yeah, till then, later.